if the
Repocratic.
thank you, party will not support our civilization, how can we effectively change without civil war as in El Salvador? And I suppose the thing I would be very interested in is your thoughts on your commitment to pacifism.
Right.
Oh, and the same theme also, if the goal is to, as you say, make the power elite afraid of you, wouldn't groups like Veterans for Peace and Veterans Against War be more effective if they came to demonstrations armed to the teeth? Why don't you do that then?
I'm not finally a pacifist. I lived in Sarajevo during the war when it was being hit with 2,000 shells a day, constant sniper fire, 4 to 5 dead a day, 24 wounded a day. 45 foreign journalists were killed when I was there. We knew what would happen if the Serbs burst through the trench systems around the city. They would do to us what they had done in the Drina Valley, which is slaughter a third of the population and drive the rest into refugee and displacement camps. I understood why people picked up a weapon in Sarajevo. I was incidentally in El Salvador. I covered the war there for 5 years. I understand why landless peasants, dominated by a corrupt oligarchic system, which owned 60% of the land and made people work as, day laborers and fincas, would pick up a weapon. In fact, the war in El Salvador started after a peaceful march in 1979. Police, or Treasury police, set up machine guns on the roofs of buildings in downtown San Salvador and slaughtered people. That's how the war started. So, I get it. I mean, certainly I understand why Native Americans picked up weapons. And yet, I also know that once you embrace violence, you become poisoned by it. And that for me, violence is always tragic. This is a constant debate I have with Derek Jensen, who some of you may know. I think Derek's analysis is right, but I think Derek romanticizes violence, and I've told him this, in the same way the power structure does it. Violence is deeply corrosive, and it's why the initial defenses in Sarajevo were organized by the gangster class. Violence always propels those who have a penchant for violence and an access to weapons. And so I understand that there comes a point when you should not accept inevitable annihilation. But for me, that is a descent, as Nietzsche understood, it pits your monsters against their monsters. If Iraq veterans against the war came to Lafayette Park armed to the teeth, I can assure you that Homeland Security, the CIA, the FBI, the 18 intelligence agencies in our government would not be happier. That's just what they want. That is not going to work. Look, will we descend? Corporations know only one word. It's more. They know no limits, and the normal mechanisms by which they were restrained are broken. So they will push people, and they may inevitably push people to violence. But at that point, it becomes, a cauldron of evil.